Welcome to Astro Rahu Channel English. I'm your host Vishal Sathye. Today we are going to discuss for the Leo Ascendant what happens when Mars comes in the 7th house in Aquarius sign. If you want to view this same episode in Hindi, go to Astro Rahu Hindi. And if you want to learn about identification and benefits of Ayurvedic herbs, then go and visit Health Channel. Now this is a very karmic placement and this is going to be a very interesting episode. So watch this episode from the start to the end. Mars and Saturn both are malefics, and the nature of malefics is that they want to attain all the worldly pleasures for the individual. But there is a lot of difference between Mars and Saturn. Mars is that fighting energy and that selfish energy, and he want to keep all those worldly benefits only for himself. He is selfish. On the other hand, Saturn wants to attain all the worldly pleasures by the benefit of all. So Saturn is not selfish and it is slow. So this is the difference between Mars and Saturn. Now when Mars comes in Aquarius, he gets confused because the Aquarius sign is for the benefit of all and Mars is selfish, but Aquarius sign says no, you here are not allowed to be selfish and you have to work for the benefit of all people, progress of all people together. And here Mars doesn't know what to do. The Saturnian energy of Aquarius says that everybody has an equal right and your spouse also has the same rights as you. And if there is a girlfriend or boyfriend of the spouse, he also has his own rights. So what happens here Mars becomes very broad-minded, and this placement shows that there is some karmicness in the marriage where the relationship is very broad-minded. The relationship is such that the individual is allowing his spouse for some reason which you have to find out from the Kundli. For some reason he is allowing the spouse, he or she is allowing the spouse to be independent or to probably to have broad-minded thinking or probably to behave in a broad-minded fashion, probably to behave in a futuristic fashion. And there are futuristic complex relationships in marriage where probably if the Kundli, if the astrological chart is very karmic and the placements are really a bit shady, then it can represent that the spouse is having some extramarital affair, or the spouse even might have two simultaneous marriages, or the individual might be having extramarital affairs. He might be having two spouses, he might be in two marriages simultaneously, and there is a futuristic relationship where both the husband and wife, they allow that independence to each other. What would be the intensity of this karmic placement? That will depend on the horoscope, but definitely if the chart is nice and the planets are well placed, then it will just mean that the husband and wife allow a bit of independence to each other. And but if the chart is really bad, then it can mean all sorts of things. And This can also show that there is some dispute, cause of dispute in the marriage, and there is some cause for fighting in the marriage, some cause for control, exercise of control in the marriage, but control cannot be exercised because Mars is in Aquarius. So the individual in whose chart this placement is there, he tries to exercise control in marriage, but he is unable to do so. In this placement, I have also seen that both husband and wife, they want independence in marriage, and they are happy when they enjoy that independence. But many a times they are unhappy because when a person is possessive, he doesn't give independence, but possessiveness shows that the person cares about you. So if the spouse gives too much independence, even then they are unhappy because sometimes they feel that their spouse doesn't care about them. This also I have seen from this placement. So this is a bit of a complex placement, and many a times I have seen, because Mars here is the 4th lord and the 9th lord, so many a times mother and father, they somehow either interfere in marriage depending on how aspects the Mars receives over here, or if they don't interfere in marriage, then many a times they are aware of such a futuristic relationship being shared by the particular husband and wife. So this is also I have seen from this placement. Or many a times the security of the individual is attached to the spouse. This also I have seen, because the 4th lord is in the 7th house. Or even I have seen that because there is some cause of dispute in the marriage, or there are control issues in the marriage, the individual in whose horoscope this placement is trying to philosophically, or he is trying to exercise higher knowledge, or he is trying to convince his spouse by using philosophy, because here Mars is the 9th lord as well, but he is unable to do so because here the planet involved is not Mercury, not Jupiter, but it is Mars. So this is a very karmic and complex placement. So if any Kundli or horoscope has this placement, then you have to look at the chart very carefully. You have to look at all the subcharts very carefully, and you have to see what is the cause behind this placement. There is definitely always a cause behind this placement. Many a times it is financial vulnerability of the person in whose chart this placement is, and because he is not earning well, many a times he has to give that independence to the spouse, and the spouse is enjoying that independence, and this karmicness is there. Or there might be that this person himself wants to enjoy independence in marriage, or the spouse, the nature of the spouse is such that he wants independence, or both of them, their nature might be such, husband and wife, that they might like to enjoy independence in life, in marriage especially. Or you also, with this placement, have to look very carefully at the Saptamesh chart. You have to look if this karmic placement in marriage is also resulting in some complications in children as well. So also look very carefully at the Saptamesh chart. So this was my analysis on this placement. If you like this episode, don't forget to press the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to Astro Rahu channel as yet, go and subscribe to it. This is Vishal Sathye signing off for now. Bye.